The call came while I was still standing beside my father's hospital bed. Flatline silence, then paperwork, then condolences that felt rehearsed. By the time I stepped outside, the sky looked wrong. Too bright for a day that had just swallowed a man whole. My phone buzzed again. Not sympathy. A message. From my husband. Come home soon. We need to talk. I remember staring at those words longer than I stared at my father's still face. Because something about them felt rehearsed, too. I didn't cry on the way home. Grief sat inside me, heavy and unmoving, like it was waiting for permission. But something else had already started moving. Slow, cold, awake. The front door was unlocked. That was the first mistake. The second was the laughter. Soft, casual, familiar. I stepped inside quietly. My shoes made no sound on the marble floor. And then I saw them. My mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, unpacking boxes. Not visiting, not helping, unpacking, like they already lived there. My chest tightened, but not from grief. No, something sharper, cleaner. I didn't announce myself. I just watched. Clothes folded into my drawers. Kitchen items rearranged. My space rewritten. Then he walked in. My husband. He saw me. Paused. And then he smiled. Not sympathy. Not guilt. Relief. Good, he said. You're back. That's when the grief finally cracked. But not into tears. Into clarity. Pack your things, he continued, voice light, almost bored. I'm divorcing you, so get out. No hesitation, no explanation. Just disposal. I tilted my head slightly. Studied him. He really thought this was sudden. He really thought I didn't know. My gaze drifted to the open suitcase on the couch. Half filled, not mine. I noticed the perfume on the air, not mine. And then I saw it, on the kitchen counter. A second phone, unlocked, careless. I felt it then, that quiet, familiar stillness settling into my bones. The same stillness I felt 3 weeks ago. The night everything started making sense. Because this moment, wasn't a shock. It was confirmation. I took a slow breath. Let the silence stretch just long enough to make them uncomfortable. Then I set my bag down gently. You've already moved in, I said, voice calm, flat. My mother-in-law didn't meet my eyes. My sister-in-law smirked. He shrugged. Seemed efficient. Efficient. I almost smiled. Almost. Because he still didn't understand. None of them did. That I had been watching, listening, waiting. And now, they had just walked straight into the ending I had already written. I stepped further inside, closed the door behind me. Soft click. Final. Are you sure? I asked quietly. This is what you want? He didn't hesitate. Absolutely. Of course. That's the thing about people like him. They only see the move in front of them, never the game that's already been played. I nodded once. Slow. Accepting. He had just handed me everything. And I had been preparing for this moment, long before my father died. 3 weeks ago, his phone lit up at 2:17 a.m. He was in the shower. Left it face down. Careless. I wasn't looking for anything. That's the lie people tell themselves. But I turned it over anyway. One message. No name. Just a heart. She still doesn't know? I remember how still my hands felt. Not shaking. Not even cold. Just precise. I didn't open it. Didn't need to, because something inside me had already shifted. The next morning, I smiled over breakfast, poured his coffee, kissed his cheek, and began. Phone records first. Patterns don't lie. Late-night calls, short bursts, same number. Then the second layer, emails, hidden folders, receipts, hotel bookings, 2 names, his and hers. My sister-in-law's best friend, of course. Close enough to hide, far enough to deny. I didn't confront him. Not yet. I needed more than suspicion. I needed something clean, undeniable. So I went further. A lawyer? Quiet consultation. No names. Just hypotheticals. Property laws. Inheritance clauses. Marital assets. He thought this house was his. It wasn't. My father had made sure of that. Years ago. A clause buried deep. A signature he never read. I remember the lawyer looking at me, surprised. You're protected, she said. No, I was prepared. And then, the final piece. The recording. Not dramatic, not loud. Just a conversation he thought was private. "I'll do it after her father's gone," he had said. Casual, cold. Less complications. I replayed that line exactly 3 times. Not because I needed proof, but because I wanted to understand the man I married. Turns out, I never did. Back in the present, he was still smiling, still waiting for me to break. I reached into my bag, slowly, deliberately, pulled out a thin folder, set it on the table between us. "What's this?" he asked. I didn't answer, just opened it, turned it toward him. His eyes scanned. Confusion first, then recognition, then something uglier, fear. "Property deed," I said softly. "My name, not yours." Silence. I slid the next page forward. Phone records, highlighted. Then the hotel receipts. Then the transcript. I didn't say anything. I didn't need to. His face drained slowly, like someone pulling the plug on him. "You," he started. Stopped, because there was nothing to say. My mother-in-law stepped forward. "What is this nonsense?" I looked at her. Just once. She stopped. "That's the thing about truth. It doesn't need volume. It just needs space." "I knew," I said quietly. "Before you decided I didn't matter." His mouth opened again, closed. I watched him crumble in real time. Not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly. Like something hollow finally giving in. "You can't do this," he whispered. I tilted my head. I already did. I stepped back, creating distance, control. "This house stays with me," I continued, "legally, completely." My gaze flicked to the half-unpacked boxes. "You should start packing." No anger, no raised voice, just direction. My sister-in-law looked at him, panicked. He said nothing, because for the first time, he understood. This wasn't his decision. It never was. I picked up my bag again, walked to the door, paused. Not for them. For myself? For the version of me that once loved him without calculation. She was gone now, replaced by something quieter, sharper, final. "I waited," I said without turning around, "because I wanted you to choose this." A breath. "And you did." I opened the door, stepped outside. The air felt different, lighter. Behind me, silence stretched. Heavy. I didn't look back. Because some endings don't need witnesses, only truth. And as the door closed behind me, I realized something simple. I hadn't lost anything. I had just finished removing what was never truly mine.